I can spam call. Anyway, so now do I feel in the world, do I feel a bit lonely? Do I feel like there's no one that I can call up and properly connect with, where I don't have to be sort of super nervous or careful about what I say as to not offend, or where I can, talk about the things that interest me, or whatever, and or talk about the things that interest them, whatever, just share and talk and exchange. And no, I don't. I don't feel like I have any such person. I have people that I can call, but I would still have a concern that I might either say the wrong thing or not ask them enough questions about themselves, not realize that they had more to share and just needed it coaxed out of them. uh, not worry about, I've learned stuff and I see that they're, wrong about something, and be able to be like, hey, actually, you're misunderstanding emotions, actually, maybe. You'd have to see me in action to judge whether or not I do it well. You might be imagining just me go calling people up. Hey, can I tell you how wrong you are about everything? Actually, I would love to be able to do that. I would love that that wasn't offensive. Hey, I mean, if it's justified, if it's cup, if it's based on evidence and based on thought and stuff. In any case, and then do I have someone I feel like can understand me? No, no. Certainly not my ideas, but not even really me. So would it be cool if someone was that person? Yeah, but honestly, when I think of her and what just came to me, which is why I'm saying this now, when I think of her, that's like the major thing I'm concerned about. That she's got those other cool things, but could she handle an autistic person? That I don't know about. That I have doubts about. So it's not even like I'm invested thinking that there are lots of things that made her attractive to me. The one thing that I didn't get the chance to see, and didn't was like, is like her ability to interact with an autistic person, because she was like polite, she had was smiling, she was pleasant and all that stuff. The one thing, in fact, that was basically kind of missing from her, and that I imagine in my woman, is a little more darkness, a little more being able to just look someone in the eyes and just not at all smile, just be that real. That sometimes you're smiling and laughing. I'm not even like that. I mean, I can't be. I can't be. I have to be all the time when I'm first talking to someone. But I also kind of regret it, and I hate how it looks. I just think it's a fucking stupid smile that I'm doing. My most recent girlfriend, and the only, in fact, my most recent girlfriend and the only girlfriend, and then my girlfriend from 2010, those two, they had a nice RBF. They they could smile, but then also if you confused them or said something that might bother them, they could very easily go, I love that. So, like, if there's some process in here that had invested insomnia actually like being my, because that's probably one of my top criteria. Being able to recognize that you're a brain is great. Being moral, proactively moral, is great. Bangs and being cut here are really great. Uh, traveling, living in a van, being able to live a similar life to me, potentially be able to go through Africa with me, awesome. But all of those things can be someone barely normal. It isn't the most rarest thing of all, which is, well, two things. One, a woman who isn't polite is good, but shows more of a straight face, looks a little more serious sometimes when it's appropriate, doesn't, maybe who isn't always bubbly and soft or whatever. Look, I can appreciate bubbly. I don't mean to, but it's just easier for me as an autistic person to be able to see more of a range because I don't have to guess. If I see a woman who's able to look at me like this, then I know, so when she's feeling like that inside, I'll see it in her face. But someone who's always like, I promise you they're still getting upset, but I'm not guessing those moments. So someone who is more expressive even when it's negative, and someone who can handle interacting with an autistic person. So that's kind of two related things. That's probably like sort of the rarest quality among the people that I've dated, and she didn't demonstrate that. So, I mean, I just don't see how I could. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm trying to rationalize too much. Maybe all it is if possibility of romance on her side, then anxiety. Because that is kind of a theme. Like, I don't have anxiety about someone who isn't interested in me. I don't have anxiety about someone. My anxiety, and this is the same 2 week thing that we were talking about. It's when the other person has expressed some interest or has indicated some interest, or you think that you've observed some interest, but it isn't sort of guaranteed yet, or you can't rely on it yet. Yeah. Yeah. So that's yeah. Yeah. So that's something. That's or the thing. And so that's what it is. That's why I'm having anxiety now, because now it's actually possible for me to potentially interact with her. And I'm just waiting to find out, does she want to interact with me or not? Yeah, that feels right. That's what it's all about. Not knowing whether a person wants to interact with you. That's my thing. If there is reason to believe that a person may want to interact with you, and you want to interact with that person, but you don't know that they want to interact with you, then anxiety. And that seems to be what's sort of happening. So I can be conscious sort of those conditions, but then those conditions are just slapping something. I am not processing it. It feels so stupid, my anxiety, and I hate it. Okay, but that's cool. So what would be the solution then? Well, the solution that I've used in the past, even if I couldn't articulate that that's what was happening, was to block the person, right? To make it impossible, or to run the person off. Um, you know, I'd rather they block me or I block them than this purgatory here. Right. And that explains why I wanted to break up with Chelsea back in 2010, because I'd rather us break up, deal with the pain of us being broken up, and knowing that that's it, rather than having that open. Uh-huh. And that's a very, very common human thing. Um, yeah. Yeah. And of course, we evolve that way to sort of hate not knowing whether you can count on someone. And in other scenarios, it's like not knowing whether someone is friend or foe. Of course, that triggers anxiety and activates protocols to ascertain that. Because, it's not good for survival when you don't know whether someone is friend or foe. So you're tempted to maybe be generous with them, share something with them, but you have no idea whether they would ever reciprocate that. Well, all right, forget the being reasonable, but anyway, we know why those are I guess, the reasons that we were programmed that way. So it's as simple as that. We all have the it. If unknown, then anxiety. And that can manifest in a lot of different ways. If we don't know what the universe is, then anxiety. Oh, there's a Bible that has the answers? That soothes my anxiety. Oh, I just want to know whether my kid is dead or alive. It's been 5 years and I'm absolutely tortured because I don't even know whether they're dead or alive. So that base it of if unknown, then anxiety, that can combine with other its to manifest in lots of different situations. In my case, because I'm actually okay, like so let's say we all have if unknown, then anxiety. Now, for me, when we're regarding sort of the origins of the universe, I have another it. If you can't know, then no anxiety. So if unknown, then anxiety. And if you can't know, then no anxiety. They go. And so I don't have anxiety about the origins of the universe. I don't have anxiety about whether there are beings watching us. I don't even have anxiety when I'm in a relationship about whether someone is cheating on me. Yeah. I don't there are lots of unknowns in my life that I don't have anxiety about. But if unknown romantic dynamic, then anxiety. That's got no op-ed. There's no other dude coming in and going, so what would it look like? So I know I have if you can't know, then no anxiety, and that I think works really well. It opts really well the if unknown, then anxiety. What could op? One thing that kind of opts the romantic anxiety is if trying to find out would jeopardize the thing, then like reduce anxiety. Luckily, that I don't think I was born with that, but that got strong in the course of my life. And having had experiences where going too much towards someone scared them off. But I don't know. Why would that just decrease the anxiety? It would decrease me reaching out to them. Then wouldn't I just suffer alone in anxiety? Another one is if meant to be, then will be. Thank God I feel that way. It's totally unjustified, but psychologically, it super plays a big role in here. Another one is, that's that last it. If meant to be, then will be isn't a real psychological it. How would you phrase that? Yeah, I guess actually it could be. Yeah. Yeah, because and then basically somehow what's happening is we're going, hey, look, if it's not happening, then it wasn't meant to be, And if it's happening, then it was meant to be. And also the... Anyway. So I need something that, with where the consequence is then no anxiety. Something that maybe already exists in here, where I think that I could practice and install. It also relates to the action bias, doesn't it? The tendency that we have to want to act even when there's no proposed course of action or no available course of action. But if there's a problem, you just got to do something. And then sometimes that something that we do actually is not good and exacerbates the problem. But we did it because one of our mechanisms is like, got to do something. And I know we don't have to do something here. I don't know. And honestly, I'm still feeling like this thing here that I don't even think I can think about what kind of it to install right now. So I'm going to go sit outside and breathe. And one thing I'm doing is I'm reassuring myself it won't be, anyway.